Right, now on Queensville. Now you've seen all my Queen collection, but we're going to go right back to the very start of how I became a Queen fan and a rock fan. This is something different on Queensville you're going to see, and I've decided this time to film my entire vinyl collection. Now in the past you've seen the Queen vinyl collection, but now you're going to see the 80s and 70s vinyl collection. Now we're talking vintage stuff here from the 80s to the 90s to the 70s. But I'll tell you right now, what you're going to see is nothing compared to anything that I've ever filmed on Queensville. This is what I would call my marathon video of my vinyl collection. There is thousands and thousands of people to this day on Discogs searching high and low for products that you really need to have. And I started collecting a lot of vinyl in 1992 when you know, the music scene was really good at that time. The metal scene was good, the rock scene was good. What I've got in my collection is where I started. Where I very started was the very early days of when music was bloody good at that time. So my whole entire collection is based around the goth side of it and the rock side of it as well. But I have also a good favourable type of music where I am a metal fan and a great rock fan, but I'm also committed to Queen, which has been a steady point in my life. So I thought this time, because of anything videos I've done now, it's basically been inspirational. But what I'm going to do now is something totally very different to what I've ever filmed. So I'm now going to bring you one of my proudest videos I've ever filmed for Queensville is my entire 80s vinyl collection. So this is the box here with all my vinyls inside. Now I've took out half of these. Now what I've done is I'm going to start with this top pile first, because this pile here is the pile where we're going to start with this. But when we get inside the box though, it gets really interesting. Some deep dark gems I got in there. So let's get on with it. Right, now you have to excuse the camera angle because I can't get the camera straight, and I've got my obviously my HD camera working on this as well. So let's get this done. Right, the first one we're going to go for is one of these ones. This is the one I actually got many years ago from a record shop in Washington a lot of times, and they were selling a lot of these. And this is the JDC Mixer. Jim Callan, who was a great disco producer, brought all these out in the JDC Mixers. Brought about 10 of these out, but never very commercially, never released in the UK, or came from the USA. It's a mega mix album, 11 non-stop minutes of dancing rhythm, which is so fucking amazing. It features these artists: Solif de la Vie, Goddess of Love, Sunbelt Spinner, Taps, My Forbidden Lover, mega mix. Well, don't know what says mega mixer. Venus, One Shot Lover, Charity, Sweet Conversation, Tyrants and Therapy, Paint It Pink. Yeah. Also on this, it's got some very interesting stuff on this, because it's basically the guys who mix this together put extra bits in the record so you can guess the tracks that were on it that were not on this one. And this is a unique thing to have. It's also got the same on the back side as well from it. It's come from the USA, JDC Records, which I understand they were affiliated with the Paul Klein records, which we'll get them later on anyway. So the record inside. Interesting. This is actually, it's actually one-sided. It's a one-sided disc. You've got this side here, which is blank, so you can make your own disc on that. I don't know why I did that for. I think it was some disco markets. And then you've got the vinyl there as well, which is so cool. Also, it is engraved. It's JDC 0055, and also it's got Mixer 3 there as well, which is actually pretty good night as well. So record was actually produced at JDC Records. It was at West 57th Street, and San Bernardino, California, and made in the USA. Yep. It's interesting how they've got the copyright publishers on here, which they did get licensed to do this. Mixed by Juan Helscher. Jim Callan was the executive producer, and Michelle Dyers full of inspiration for making this as well. It's a 33 RPM record. It's a pretty good mix actually. It's got a lot of good taste and stuff in it. So this is the early stuff when we got into the high energy sort of music side of it. Never thingies. But it never took off in the UK, this one, but was an inspiration by the UK market to come to the US market, which is pretty good. But this is a pretty good album, actually. It's a pretty good mix, 11 minutes of great music. It's got some really good gems in here. Probably my favourite track is One Shot Lover, which I've heard that on YouTube, and I love that track. It's just so good as well. The rest of it is a bit math, really. But check it out, JDC Mixer Volume 3. I do recommend this. It's absolutely brilliant. Right, now we get on to some of the lesser crappy ones. Yeah. Sunita and I Don't Believe in Miracles. This, at the time, right, I'll just say from my point of view, at the time this came out, was my favourite track by far from, obviously, Aitken Waterman, right? And this is a white. This is actually a promo release, white promo release. This is. But everybody knows that Aitken Waterman were the greatest producers and millionaires at the time. What they don't know, probably what you don't know, is that this record is a rip-off of Beach Baby. Yes, it is. The middle section of Beach Baby, which you've heard originally, is what this was ripped off. Basically, this is a rip-off of it. This is actually, I'll say from my point of view, that when this came out at the time, the bass on this is fucking amazing. That's all about this track, is the bass on it. It's so cool. This was on Simon Cowell's Fanfare record label. It was the most important label ever. 25 records of these were done. This is Fan 16. Why is it? You may think, why is it in this 7-inch sleeve? Is it because the sleeve, there was no sleeve for this at all, but it's pretty as it was anyway. Is it by Yo-Yo, Dave Ford, recorded PDO Studios, produced by Aitken Waterman, and this was released in 1988 on Fanfare. Non-PPL. They weren't paying the PPL license at the time for that. So this is this is just a promo release of it. My writing's on here, obviously, which you can probably tell from this thing. This is on my writing on here. I wrote this on here because I didn't know what the hell it was. So I was trying to find out what it was anyway. This is the. I have to say something about the Peter L vinyls that came out. They were fucking great. The sound qualities are brilliant on these, and the way they were done is so cool as well. So yeah, this was done at Damot Studios. The camera picks up there. Does it? Yes, it does. This is was also done by Noel Edmonds. I wish it was. And then you've got the 12th Fan 16A on there as well. Hand done by that as well. B-side is just basically the backing track, which I played this backing track to death basically. But yeah, but it is old school, and it is. For the time it came out in the 80s, this was cutting edge, best stuff from Peter that was. So that's neat there. I Don't Believe in Miracles. That's the white pressing of it, and the sound quality on that is brilliant. Now the next few releases you're going to see are part of the Ian Levine and Fiacre Trench label, but this is something different. That was from Ian Levine's company, which was Nightmare Records, and Nightmare Records was an excellent company. It came out. And it was really, really good. This is one of their. This is not. This is one of their. I would say this is not the best one, but it's all right. For I've got it. G Morris. She appeared on the song "It's All Right" by the Pet Shop Boys. Yep, backing singer. And then she made 3 singles for Nightmare, I think, from Ian Levine's bit of it. She did a cover version of "This Little Heart of Mine." There was a reason behind this, actually. Terry Sherman, who was a very important person of the disco age, died when this record was made. This is dedicated to him, basically. The whole 2 tracks actually were done by them. It's a cover, obviously, from the Supremes. Not the Supremes, it's the Temptations. And this is, I love this song. This version is nice, actually. It's a pretty good version. The Standing in Line one is a re-recording, apparently, from Ian Levine Fiacre Trench, which is done by Steve Mancher. On this label. Now, I have been a huge fan of this label since it ever was designed, and my inspiration for everything has come from Ian Levine, who I have to say he still is the most amazing producer of the 80s. Stuff he did on this label was brilliant. Now, I have amazing stories about this guy and this guy as well, Nigel Stock. these two guys, they were very important. There's more information of them that come out in the show though. This was done at Paradise Studios. This is Ian. This is actually Ian Levine's company. That is now Hot Tropicana Productions, but now it's changed up to Motor City Records, which he was just going to fund at the time for this. There's also Stephen Wagner. Stephen Wagner was also involved in the. He was signed to Nightmare at the time this was produced, and he is still good. And this is just basically a good version that came out. Also mixed by Robin Sellers as well. As I said, I've got loads of stories about that in the show as well. This is obviously Nightmare Records. This is Nightmare 17. I have to say, when I got it, I thought it was going to be shit. I proved myself wrong. This cover version is pretty good. It's got that sort of good Motown feel to it. Really. It's got a good Motown feel to it, which is pretty good. This was produced at, if I understand, Damont Studios. So Damont, very faint. You can see that Damont is printed there, and this has been used because this was actually used this record. The re-recording this Staying in Line features Trace Ackerman on this as well, who I will talk about later. But this, I would say, is a good version of it. So if you like your Motown and stuff, this version is actually, I wouldn't say it's the best, but to stay safe with it, it's pretty good. So it's good. So G. Morris, This Is a Heart of Mine, nice cover version, and dedicated to Terry Sherman. Right, moving on now to another. This is one of the worst ones. Right, this is the worst one. I'll just warn you now. Right. That this record is horrible and terrible, but the girl's nice in it though, which is pretty sure what she was. This is April Jaff. They put April on there, but it's April actually. So April, this is French. Boys Come and Go. This is the fucking terrible. What I've got to tell you, this is a no-no. This is a no-no at all. No. This is, I have to say, it's the worst fucking song I've ever heard in my life. It's bloody awful. That's fucking it's fucking terrible. But there's a very good story behind this apparently. Now the producer on this is Jacques Morali, who did YMCA and those other great disco tasks he did. Well, this was actually this is actually a very interesting story. This song was meant to be recorded for Debbie Gibson, but she refused it because she didn't want to talk about love and affection and all that business going on. But it is, I'll just say it's very cheesy, this song. Very cheesy. But you can't go wrong for music production. But I'll just say from my point of view, this is a no-no. No. Now, he uses the same identical people for his studio, by the way, which is Francis Leone, Fred Czar, who is still one of the minded people of Debbie Gibson's side. Debbie Gibson's guitar player. So he basically nicked all of Debbie Gibson's things on this, and this was produced in '85. So '85 Record Records. Yes, it is actually Record Records. It's the company, again, another one of these companies which is amazing. It was amazing at the time, and Record Shack was the most brilliant company ever done. The other stuff, it's also been distributed by EMI. Now, the other thing about it is, at the time that this came out in the 40s and the 50s and 60s, the numbers, they were Record Records were distributed by EMI because they lost their they lost a agreement with Warner Brothers, and it was IDS who also did it as well, but IDS went bust anyway. But when they were distributed to EMI, they got more money for it, and the company was saved. This is Console Productions, which is part of Jack Morali and Henry Bello. And I have to say that this is a cheesy song, but I'd stay away from it. This is the EMI. You can tell this straight away. This is an EMI print, because EMI at the time were what I understand. I think EMI were using the name, but they weren't legally using the standard thing for it. But this is terrible. But I'd say no at all. Now it has got an EMI stamp on this as well, which is Soho T40 there. EMI, okay, it's definitely EMI. And the B side of it, I would actually have to say that the B side is just, this is just shit. So don't for God's sake, if you go for parties and stuff, don't even think about it. But if you re-record it in a rock mode, it'd be good. But that's on YouTube anyway. But I'd say it's a definite no for me. Although that's just awful. But no. Avril, Boys Come and Go. No, definitely a fucking no. Terrible. Right, moving on now. More 80s coming up now. This next one. Oh my God, these. Oh yes, this is where we get to the good stuff. Bananarama. Love in the First Degree, the remix. Or what I would say, the official version of it. Now, the video for this was brilliant when it came out. I think these were the start of the girl bands. These Cruel Summer, and the other songs they made were bloody great when they came out. It's a shame that she left, because she left the Siobhan Fair. He left. But replaced by that other bitch that came in. She was bloody awful. And then it was divisive. This is the Eurobeat style remix. But I'd say I don't think it should be. This should be the proper mix of it that came out. The Genders mix that came out was fucking dreadful, which is terrible. But I'm glad they did. Peter Well remix this one as well. It's also got a regular remix of Mr. Sleaze, but it looks like it's been re-recorded actually, that version. This is on the London record label. Nanex R40, yeah, 14. Yes, they were allowed to actually use the Bananarama. Had their own at the time, had their own right to do that. Roger Ames, who owned London Records, said, "Look, we'll make your own thing up and stuff." So this is remixed by the Euro Twins. Well, the Euro Twins were actually, it was Pete Waterman and Pete Hammond who did this as well. Yes, interesting information about that. And this one is just done by the guys as well from it and stuff. But you know, I've got to tell you, Peter Wells mixes in the 80s were really amazing at the time. So yeah, so there we are. The Eurobeat Star Mix just says produced by Waterman, but remixed by Euro Twins. But obviously you know who it is. It's Pete Waterman, and it's thingy. There's also an engraving here. The remix is better than the original. Who wrote that? That was me. It's also got here Nana XR40. So this is actually the remix, but I wouldn't say this is the remix. I'd say this is the official version of it, which sounds much better. And then just basic one as well. This was pressed at, as I understand, I think this was done. Actually, it doesn't say. It doesn't say where it was done. This one. It might have been produced by Warner Brothers. I think because Warner Brothers, obviously, London Records was bought off by Warner Brothers, and then it was produced themselves. This remix, I'd say, stay really good on that. Actually, very good version of it. Love in the First Degree, the original remix of it. Get this one. Look it on YouTube, because the Eurobeat Star Mix is bloody brilliant. Much better than that crappy Jealous mix of shit that was. But great video, amazing tunes, great stuff. Bananarama. Now some lesser known 12-inch singles. This one is on. This is actually a rare one. This, which was very. When I got this one, I actually thought it was going to be, it's going to be old shitty and everything, but actually pretty good. Life Force Invitation. This had no idea what this was until I realised this is on the Polar record label, which praised down to Polar Records, who at the time were now Champion Records, who was still going. This is actually not a bad song. Vocals on this pretty good. This is a song that was produced by Rob Davis and Colin Peters. To understand, they were already there. This is the only record they made at the time. It's just pretty. Yeah. But anyway, Mr. Rob Davis and Andy Greers. Water music by Rob Davis and Dorothy Green. Dorothy Green is the singer on this, by the way, who just basically that's the singer on it. It's mastered by Tony Bridge of PRT Records, and Steve was done by that Polar Records. This label was where you had Dance So Dizzy. The Liquid Gold was signed to this as well, and Adrian Baker. I think Adrian Baker had something to do with this, because I think he at the time was still the managing director of it, of Polar Records, and it's a pretty good one. This is PR Polar 1234. This I'm going to stay safe with it actually, because I'll tell you what, production on this pretty good. This is done at Tone. Let me see that Tone. Polo TR 123 1234. This is brand new when I bought this. I actually got this from the Washington Stock KMA Music before it was closing down actually, and they were selling all this knockoff stuff. It was still brand new. This. B-sides, the B-side, actually, the backing track is pretty good. I think this is where this came really into the side of when I was doing it at the time. But this would be the B-side of it. Very good indeed. So I was going to stay safe with it. It's pretty good. Good vocals in it as well. So Life Force Invitation, very good song. Dorothy Green on it, obviously. Good song, that. Really good. And the next one, James and Susan Wells. Love is the Cure for Me. I love the Cure for Me. This is another one released on Nightmare Records, Ian Levine. Again, this is very difficult to describe, but I'll tell you what. Well, these two guys, it was a brother and sister, obviously. The best song they ever recorded was RSVP, which I will bring up later. I've got to tell you about that because that is seriously the best one they ever did. But Ian Levine in Fiacre Trench wrote this song. This was supposed to be a follow-up to RSVP, but it never came out of it. Now this sounds very similar to Primitive Desire with some of the boxes on it, with box drums and things on it, which the production on this is pretty good actually. The B-side's pretty good as well. So this is produced by Ian Levine in Fiacre Trench, who I will talk about later. Trident Studios was recorded at where Queen recorded their album there, yes, but it was bought by I understand it was bought by somebody else, but also Ian Levine Fiacre Trench had the rights to go and record a few more of these at the studio before deceased after that as well, which is pretty good. Linear Studios, that was owned actually by the guy Hans Zimmer, yes, who did the music for the Rain Man film, which is still one of the most best soundtracks I've ever heard in my life. I love that soundtrack to death. As a Mr. Robin said us. It's actually been published by Weak Spot Music Limited. Red Check Music. Now, Weak Spot is based on a song by Evelyn Thomas, who wrote the song, who had the song called that Weak Spot, which was a 70s song actually, and then it was just his Ian Levine's publishing company at the time. From that, Network Records obviously did it. Leo Lyons, producer and photographer. Paul Savory did that as well. And they were also based at Oldbury Road, Edgware, Middlesex, HA890B. That is no longer there now, but you can check that address out if you want to, because you find out where they are on Google Earth. Check it out, it's pretty interesting. Obviously, manufactured and presented by PRT, but now it's actually Sanctuary Records. Now, all of these Nightmare Records, by the way, are now owned by Scratch Music Productions, which I'm going to talk about later. This is May 6. But on the side, it's pretty good condition. It's kind of just sounds like Primitive Desire, but for the time it was done, this record, I'm going to say it is not bad. But it sounds very, very, very. Again, another one of these which sounds very Motowny on the side of it stuff. But pretty good song. B-side, interesting B-side. The studio production that's pretty good actually. But mixing engineer, that's Robin Sells, did a great job with that one. So Love's Cure for Me. I'll tell you that this is actually not a bad version because his voice is great, her voice is great, but the best one will come later in the video. You're gonna see the best one that they did. So Love's Cure for Me from James and Wells. Not a bad song. Now then, I wanted something else from those two you've just seen, James and Wells. This one is a promo release of it. Now this is a problem single. Now this is one of the most weirdest ever releases that have come out on Fanfare Records. Now this is a wide pressing of it. Now when I got this, I thought it was going to be like RSVP 2. Not the sort. I understand now why this was withdrawn. This sucks arse. This record is dreadful. It is James and Wells. It's called Mirror Image. I have to say, I'm very happy that this is the worst. This is one of the worst songs ever written. Written by Ian Levine and Fiacre Trench. This record should never have been done. Straight down. This is awful. You'll never find this on YouTube. You'll never find it on YouTube. But I'm not going to upload it onto YouTube because this song absolutely sucks arse. The backing track is terrible. It sounds like it's like a love song, but done badly. Done badly. But Ian Levine don't write love songs. They do good tunes of 80s tunes. This is a no-no. Period. This is fan 12. Well, I understand this is fan 12 2901, but the way they did this was to they weren't allowed, I don't think they were allowed to use the information on it. So after looking at on Discogs, there's apparently this number is come up as a different number for fanfare's release of it. And I think it's 9. I think it's actually 01. I think that's what it is. 01 and 00. I think that's where it started out. Basically, is that one. So yeah, but this is a no-no. It just says mirror image instrumental. Yeah. The B-side's terrible. Just songs is so bad. I don't know why. It's one of the ones where you buy it, you try it, and after that you're thinking it goes in the bin. I think this will be going. This is one of my no-nos at all. But for the kind of issue of fanfare's release of it, God stay safe with it and say it's all right. But this is a no-no. No-no at all. So James Susan Wells, mirror image, mirror fucking dreadful image. Don't play this. It is worst record ever bought. Next, drum single. Yes, Anglia Remix Volume 2. I have got Volume 1, but it's in the box. But now, if you have checked out on YouTube the original version of this, the Earthquake and Catch Me is fucking brilliant. I have to say, the best ever remix that came out from Holland. Period. This one is. Don't even start me on this. I'm going to just quickly say, right, the first one that came out was bloody awesome. You find it on YouTube. Anglia Remix Volume 1. Excellent video. Got the highest views ever on YouTube. And everybody loves it. Fucking brilliant. This one is a... Oh, God. Oh, don't know where to start with this. First of all, the two tracks in here, Angie Gold and Astaire, Eat You Up and Power of Love. Now, what the guy did on this one was not supposed. It was supposed to be. It was supposed to be the follow-up to the Anglia Remix. This one is a no-no again. Terrible version. I don't know why the hell we've got to have anthem horns on the beginning of the track, which sounds like it's just out of a military base. Is there like it's like an army of soldiers going to come and say this record sucks? This record sucks. A side, I'm going to say no. It's a definite no. The mix of the Power of Love, don't even start with me on that. That original version of that is excellent. That version, where the hell they got the vocals from that track onto this one is, oh my God, don't even start me on that. Terrible. Worst bit is this. Are Cannibals by these guys? Brilliant song ever done by Barry Blue. This one, I'm going to say, fucking shit. No. Don't even play it. Don't even play it. This was done by High Fashion Music in Holland. Or to put it another way, it was done also by the guys at Dureco Benelux. And I just love that label. High Fashion Music, great one. Volume 1 obviously is the best one. So the remix is 7 minutes and 54 seconds. I have to say it's unlicensed, on license by Passion Records London. Remixed by Rutger Gusk, who is no longer with us now. And written by Nigel Stock with Howard Love, and also and Angie Kite and Tom Baker wrote Eat You Up. And produced by Les Hunt as well for AVM Music. And the B-side was done by the legendary, the most legendary producer, Nigel Wright. Yes. Where is he? There he is. Produced by Nigel Wright. I can't get on the camera there for a minute. Come on. Focus. Produced by Nigel Wright. Yeah. Worst ever record done. That was actually licensed from, it says Passion Records London. That's wrong. Debut Records actually did that release of it. I'm going to definitely say that is a definite no to buy. So that will be going up onto Discogs for a selling point of view. This one, trash. Next one on to is Lisa, Rocket to Your Heart. One of the most amazing 80s tracks ever in this world. Absolutely brilliant. This, I've got 3 versions of this one, but I'm just going to do these in random order, so I will get to the other ones later. This one is the edited version of it. This is not the album version. This is not the extended version. This is the edited version. Bought this on eBay. Disappointed with this one. Disappointed a lot on this one. This is not the full version of it. This is the, I'll have to say, is the 545 version. Well, it is right, but the editing on that version is just the main. I think it's the album version. Actually, I think it's the full album version of that one, which is pretty good. B side of it. I'm going to say a bit off of that one as well. Produced by Barry Blum and John Hedges, who these 2 guys were part of the Moby Dick family production, and the associate producer was Peter Buffet. And this is on the label of Metronome Records, and this is obviously, now you can tell straight away that they put that address on as the standing forward address of it, which is good. And also, I just noticed a few minutes ago, there's a PRS sticker there as well. PRS somewhere. Interesting. And this is done in Germany this as well. Metronome were licensing records to be produced for German releases, and then it came out here in I think this one I'm just going to say definitely no on this, because this is absolutely edited to fuck. I'm not going to talk about it. The sound quality in it is, every time I keep listening to this track, I always keep thinking the sound quality is bad. This one is actually a digital master on the record, which is very high density on it, and it's very tinny on it as well. So let's see, Rocket to Your Heart by Barry Bloom and John Hedges, if that ever gets us. There you go. Great White Whale Publishing, and produced by Barry Bloom and John Hedges as well for that. A side, B side, Mandatory Love, which I will say I don't know on that one, but yeah, but it's a new digital master that basically did on the vinyl with a DMM master on it, which sounds fucking great on it as well. It's the number, Eels, if you want to know, it's 817751, which is not bad. But as I say, the edited version of Rocket to Your Heart, I think that from my point of view, it is one of the best songs that ever was released. And from my point of view, it is gem to have. Love the cover art, but this replicates the cover art in America. They used a different cover art for it actually, but that cover art is now rare to have from the version that was on Unidisc Records, but I don't have that one, but it's the rarest one to have of that one. But this is the replacement cover they did for it. So Lisa Rocket to Your Heart, the edited version of it, but I still think it's the greatest song ever written for the American market. Brilliant. Now, the next one I'm going to show you is, from my point of view, if you remember the song Hardick Avenue by the Masonettes, Lord Mason and City Boy and all that business. Well, it's very interesting how this came around, because this is going to be Lisa Legs Carter. Yeah. You'd be thinking, wow, great legs, but what the hell she covered? Well, I have another version of this one by Megan, which you'll see later. But this is the PWL version of Doctor's Orders, or I would say the remix of Doctor's Orders, because this is, from my point of view, an attempt to make records kind of alright, kind of bit merry. Anyway, Lisa Carter, this is the only record she made. Which this has a lot of stories about. Now, the way this came around was, now Lorne Mason and Mark Tabinum, who were the producers for the original Masonette's writing credits of it. Now, what they did was they originally were producing stuff, also writing stuff for Sam Fox as well, and they decided they'd have a go at making a version of Doctor's Orders. Well, what they originally did was they made a very dreamy, darky version of it, which was just awful. And then they decided that because our version didn't work, we decided to get Mr. Pete Hammond from PWL to remix our track, because it wants to have a PWL mix on it. Right, okay, that's fine. Then the B side of it, Good Medicine, I'll talk about later. Now, this was mixed by Mr. Pete Hammond, who I've got to tell you, he was the master of P2L. Legend, ever done. This guy here is an arsehole. Don Evets, he is a right dickhead. I've got to tell you, if you ever get a chance to see his picture, he is a bitch to work for, as he wanted everything done exactly as he wanted it done. Right? I'll explain later. Released on EMI, Parlophone Records, and 1988 by EMI as well. Now I've got to tell you that this version is not bad. Now the A side of it is pretty good. Now the B side of it, Good Medicine, this was originally recorded for the BBC television show Dooby Duck's Disco Circus, if you remember that on BBC. This was originally written and recorded for the BBC. This now I understand that Don Evitz, or whatever his name is, he is an arsehole. Fucking arsehole he is. He persuaded Ian Curnow to work with him to get this. Oh, I want around it. Come on, let's get this on BBC. Yeah, suit down. Yeah, got to get all these things. But the way they did this record, actually pretty good. The B side's brilliant. The A side, I would say, no. But there's no singing on that. But it's Dooby Duck's Disco Circus. That's what it's made for. That was just written. That's just basic. That was just instrumental. No, what it means is that's just a basic gag. It's a gag. But it was originally called Dooby Duck's Grey Circus, because it was originally titled that. But I've got to tell you, her vocals on this, very Londony on that, very Essex girl. Yeah, looks. I think everybody bought this because of the legs, because of the standout. I'll stand on this big mattress here, and on this big box, and let you just take a picture of my thing. I'll just crouch down. I'll just crouch down like I'll just crouch down here and not show you my you know what, and I'll just be like, we'll just show you the cover. The photography, it's not credited on it. No, but just says design art, green ink, and apparently it's got NH. This is it. This is a weird one. This is an interesting thingy. 12 NHS1, National Health Service. Interesting. Right. So in the violin side, this has been used. This one. Anyway, we got pop here. POP. Pissed off public. Pissed off piss. Whatever it is anyway. So Dick Gaines music, obviously written by George Stevenson, Robert Greenway, and Robert Gudger Cook as well. The Cook Report. And then the B-side was done by Don Evitz and Ian Curnow. Published by a good old EMI. Yes. Money from EMI, eh? A lot of money to make this record as well. Don't know how much it cost to make, because this is only her one-off, only song ever made. But the production from P2L just sounds like Dead or Alive. But let you be the judge of that. Try not on YouTube anyway. That was awesome from Lisa Carter. I would have to say it's pretty good. But check out the B-side of it. Good Medicine is better. Carrying on with the rest of the 80s and 70s disco vinyls now. And as I say, this is all my stuff for my own private collection and my own personal record collection. That's what Tony Blackburn says. Anyway, moving on. What is this I have in my hand? Well, it is a release on Fantasy Records. Yeah, where you had artists like Creedence Clearwater Revival and all the many other artists that ever lived as well. This is a UK pressing of Sylvester's You Make Me Feel Mighty Real, which I have to say, this is the edited 12-inch single version, not the full version. Now, at the time that this came out, it came out in 33 in America. They brought out a 12-minute version of it, and then decided that for the UK market only, they're going to edit a 6-minute version, which this version is identical to the one on Greatest Hits by Sylvester, which you're going to see later on. At the time this came out, Fantasy and Stax, I think, together were working as a partnership on this thing, as Stax Records was just finished, which was part of Emmett Erdogan's label, and then Fantasy Records was still, to this day, one of the best labels that ever lived. The B-side is taken off an album of his from Step 2, which is called Was There Something That I Said, with the Martha Wash, the Water Girls in this as well, which is pretty good. This has been done by EMI. This is not a Sterling sound, by the way. This is actually EMI authentic pressing here. So there's 12 ETC FTC 160. I think they want to say fuck the cunt. I think that's what they want to say for that. Shouldn't have said that. Anyway, and yeah, a very good sound cut on this as well. For the time it was done though, when EMI got the money to do this, because it's actually distributed by EMI Records, which you can see there. Maybe we were a bit written by EMI Records, as it is. EMI got the stamping rights for this record to be released. I would say it's one of the best record disco songs ever written. Most of the best singing on it. Sounds like the Bee Gees actually on this. It just sounds like which, my point of view, my own favourite album song ever. Loved in my whole career. Love this one. You May Feel Mighty Real by Sylvester. Brilliant song. Right, now we're going on the obscure ones now. The one-off ones that were not very popular. I'll just say from my point of view that this record, either this record was on a different label or either this is on Career Records, I'm not sure. But what I will tell you, when I got this, I just saw the cover art and I went, she's got to be good on this record. She's got to be. Lorraine McKane, and I take the blame. Now, there is a lot of stories about this record that apparently it was recorded twice. It was recorded in the 90s. That was totally false. It wasn't. This is the original version. Oh my god, this... The best thing I like about this record is the bass and the production on it is brilliant. Now, this guy here is the producer. Yes. And who produced it? Well, I'll tell you. Well, obviously, we don't have anything on the back of it. There's nothing on it. Just says mod by Career Records, manufactured by, distributed by BFT, recorded at Greenhouse Studios, and we don't have anything else on the back of this sleeve. Why? I don't know. Maybe they weren't allowed to put the publishing things in it. I mean, it's been blacked out a lot, this record. It just seems nothing on it. So it looks like what they've done is they just decided to put the cover on and say, yeah, we'll slap that cover on there. The B-side, reverse the image on the back. Why? This is on Career Records version. This is Career Records 3. Oh, you can't see it. Oh, wait a minute. Whoa. This is Career Records 353. Or CART 353. And this is this, from what I understand, is not a license. This is actually done on the Career Records label, which Claude Carrere must have financed this one because the UK distributing company at the time must have done some deal with it. It is just as 1984 Productions Carrere, so it looks like it is an authentic version done by the label itself at Greenway Studios, which is interesting. Produced by Stephen O'Donnell, which is him there, off camera. I think he was an American producer, I think he was. At the time. Now this is re-recorded. This is the original version of it, which I have to say, this production is fucking brilliant. Love it. The version that's on the version that was recorded by I'm Living My Own Life song person, can't remember her name. Anyway, well, she re-recorded it anyway. Erling Bentley, and she re-recorded it, and it was just a load of shit. But this version is brilliant. The B-side is fucking awesome. Well, you get hear the production. It's bloody brilliant. It's really, really dark. I think this is probably one of the most darkest songs. Her singing on it though is, from my point of view, is fucking amazing. She's got a voice, but the mixing on the track is fucking genius. But this is 80s at its best, and it was done in 1980. When was it? 1984 came out this one. That one recommended. But check out the B side. Check out the B side of it. It's brilliant. So then I take the blame from Lorraine McKane. Oh, Macarena. Right now on to some of the most good releases from the label Record Shack Records, which I have to say, this is what started off me getting into music like this. Really good stuff. Good stuff this is. Now, first of all, this was the first ever single that came out on Record Shack Records. Yeah, if you haven't got this in your collection, I recommend this. Very Pain. I'm Not in Love, the TNTC cover, also a song written by Rick Ganesha as well, which is Going Not in Love, which is just two together, which is brilliant. I'm going to sneeze. No, I'm not going to sneeze. This is the licensed by Airwave Records. Airwave Records. I thought it was Airnave. It's Airwave Records. So Airwave Records was licensing this record first to be the first one released on Rocket Records. Now this was backed by a guy called Jeff Weston, who was the main proprietor of the label. And it's been also, this was at the time this was done by Warner Brothers, who owned the license, but IDS was the main proprietor to license this out, which is pretty good. So interesting about this record, it's probably the first one that was done by Damon Studios, but it looks, oh yes, Damon Studios is there. There we are. And this is the the background vocals. You've got Mary Wilson, you've got Edmund Silvers, who I understand is Leon Silvers III, who produced Night to Remember, and Frida Payne's on that as well, and on the backing vocals. I tell you what, for the when it came out in 1980, it's come out in 1983 or 82, I think it came out, this one. But for the side of it, it's pretty good actually, pretty good. B side of it is cheap guitar line, Disco Medley. It's actually an instrumental side of the whole lot. The backing track of it, which Rich Canisius did, and that was the start of when bootlegs and sort of when B-sides were instrumental songs, which is the best the instrumental version of it. But I have to say, Generic Sleeve also. This is Generic Sleeve from Track Records. And I have to say that my point of view is when it came out in the UK, I think this was well in standards it says it was a commercial flop, but to be honest, it's not bad for what it is. Sherry Payne, I'm Not in Love, good old version that is actually, and good production, awesome. Yeah, Baby Ford, Beach Bump. I'm gonna very. I'm not going to talk about this because this is... Oh, it's hard to describe this one. It came out, it was in the charts a lot, this one. In 1988, it came out on Rhythm King Records, which was part of Sony Music Entertainment, but now the rights have been successfully owned by Sony Records, I think they are. Peter Ford. He originally did a song called Children of the Revolution, which is a T-Rex cover, which was a flop. Terrible. And so this one was supposed to be an attempt to make it more better. No. This is the 33 RPM that came out with King Records. Interesting about this is that we've got vocals by Sonique. Yeah, Sonique's on this. No, I didn't know that. Laurie Mayer. I'll tell you what, the backing, to be honest, right, to be very honest with you, if you like Depeche Mode and you like your goth stuff, I would have to say, I'm going to be very honest, but I will say that this is bloody good. So this record, for the time it came out, was good. So I have to say the influences on this were influenced a lot from the Agrotech stuff, which I'm getting into now. But I would have to say, the voice sounds, I don't know, I can't put my finger on it. The singing by Peter Ford, I don't know, he kind of sounds, it sounds like Frankie Goes to Hollywood. What's that? Holly Johnson. Sounds like exactly Holly Johnson. Be Safe with the long version of it. Don't even go there with Wigan. Wigan's about Wigan, the town Wigan, right? That's just pants. That's obviously the edit of it. This is basically the edit version, but that is pretty good. Pretty good. That Beach Bump by Baby Ford. It's on the Rhythm King Records label. This is brand new still, and there you are. He also got here this funny little tagline here, which I don't believe for a word anyway. All other noises came from the sky. Can you see that? All other noises came from the sky. From the sky. Which sky? I don't know. Anyway, and also got something engraved here, which you probably can see. Give me wildflowers, be a beach bum. Give me wildflowers, be a beach bum. What the fuck does that mean? Give me wildflowers, be a beach bum. Alright. And on the other side, it's got here... What's it got here? Oh yeah, it's got here... Casino, Casino. Casino, Casino. I also tell you what else it sounds like, Pet Shop Boys. But I will be very honest, right? If you like Angie Gold stuff and everything else, listen to this on YouTube. It sounds actually like new Blue Monday 2. But this is actually pretty good. So I will recommend this one. Recommend this one very well. Day Before Beach one. Recommend that. Now on to the last one before we stop for a few minutes, and it's going to be Ash 48 club mix of it. There's a very interesting story about this record that was done. This is apparently part 2. Now, if you remember the version of that came out in the 80s by Amy Stewart, and it was called Light My Fire, and it's called Knock on Wood. This is the new version of Knock on Wood. This is the new version of Knock on Wood. This is basically a re-recording of the song with the most amazing song of Sean Benson, the vocals. Now, what Pete Hammond and Roddy Matthews did on this one, by kind of permission from Barry Lang, because they weren't involved in this at all. They just basically gave the production over to Pete Hammond and Roddy Matthews. They obviously realised when the reissue came out of the Light My Fire, and the version also came up from Amy Stewart's song, Not on Wood, they decided to make it as a second part to the song, because it was never written. They never wrote it. Now, I'll tell you straight up that that Barry Lang, who was credited to write this song, he didn't write it. Okay, it was written by Roddy Matthews. Roddy Matthews wrote this. What they did was they those two guys were originally involved in the original remix of Lamp of Fire, which was fucking great. And they decided that because there was never a song called Ash 48, they do the second part of it to make it for the special version that came out. This is on the Sedition record label, this is a remix edit 3306. Now this is very badly damaged, this one, very badly damaged. But what we've got some great guys in this. We've got Dave Hewson, we've got Danny McIntosh guitar, we've got Sean Benson vocals, we've got Tim Baldwin at well, I think it's misprint Tim Baldwin at Derek Studios, Frank Sansom, Sharon Benson management, Barry Lang, 1986 Halfree Limited. Yes. And who is that? Halfree? That's actually Halfree is Dave Hewson, who actually owned the company at the time. And then we've got the new version of Disco Heaven. I have to say, nah, don't even go there. New version? It's not a new version. What they did on that one, Barry Lang and Dave Hewson, they took their version of Light My Fire off the remix of '85. And they decided there was nothing else to put on the B-side, but let's go back and re-record, or let's put new keyboard parts on this version. So all I did was put keyboard parts in this version, and basically just used samples from the looped track of the original this one, and then they just basically overdubbed it with keyboards on it. So it is actually a pretty good thing to have that on there. Now the vinyl side, this is terribly damaged. It's been plated deliciousness. Now what I don't understand is there's these white lines on here. Now I still to this day don't understand, how do you get rid of these white lines on records? Please tell me. I've tried every method to get rid of this. Terrible. It affects playing apparently. It's been warmed so well. But I think this is another one going on eBay. Anyway, this is the same. That's what you part 2. Come on. Carry on. But your part 2 club mix, produced by Ray Lang with Dave Hewson. Well, it's not. It's done by Pete Hammond and Roddy Matthews, who did it originally. Then we've got Ash 48 2, and then we've got All These Time Disco Heaven, which is the thingy. New version by Barry Lang and Dave Hewson did that. Original production by that as well, which is good. I have to say, this is not a bad version of Light My Fire. Not on Wood. I've got to say, this version, Not on Wood, is pretty good indeed. Good stuff.